Today is Halloween. It's technically like the morning of Halloween. It's my favorite day of the year. Even though I think over the years I haven't really celebrated it as much as I should have. Last year I went all out and just rain parade just was just celebrated. I think this year, due to some health scares that I have, um, I've sort of been putting my celebrations on the back burner, if that makes sense. And just want to say, first and foremost, man, I hope everyone had a good year because, dude, time flies by so fast. It's already about to be 2026 in 2 months. Like, literally, like, yeah, 2 months. Like, it's about to be November 1st at midnight. I just wish that Halloween was celebrated all month. Well, they do it on the TV. They'll play Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street and Jeepers Creepers. I noticed they'll have like Beetlejuice, as well as all these other movies that they'll have like doing like these marathons. But the only problem is when you work like 40, 60 hours a week, yeah, it's kind of hard to take, kind of hard to be a part of that. Unless it's on your off day. And shit, when you're on your one or two off days, shit, screw that. You just want to sleep. You don't want to stay up. You just want to sleep all day, man. Well, anyways, man, not that it really matters because I don't think anybody's up right now. So probably like, people are asleep. So I guess I'm just going to just say what I got to say and get out of here. Um, I was doing a live stream the other day. It was during one of the Texas games. I think it was the one we played OU. It was me and Azul. Youngling Jr. came on here. Give a shout out to Youngling Jr. And also we had CG Bully came on for a little bit. I think towards the third quarter of it. And then after that, he kind of left. Which, hey, give you guys a shout out for being a part of it. It's no worries, no big deal. Well, anyways, Prodigal Hill jumped on my stream, right? He didn't go in the video, but he went in the comment section. And usually he likes to typically comment on these games, like, like sports games and stuff, like we'll go over it. But I haven't seen him in forever, man. I'm always just wondering how he's been, how he's doing. So, Prodigal, if you're watching this, shout out to you, brother. You left me a comment, the only comment you've left in a long time. You said, sports have become boring and lame. Well, actually, you just said sports have become boring. Like, it's been kind of boring this year. And, I got to kind of be honest with you. I mean, like, I sat back and I thought about it. I didn't really think of it because I run like 3 different pick'em leagues to keep my mind busy when I'm not at work and stressing about paying bills, stressing about wondering when the dollars collapse, stressing about the frivolous spending in our government, blah, 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 blah. And people fighting over gender wars and religion and race and all this shit online. And, people flexing with their badass cars online and saying how they're better than everybody else. Besides all that, I run pick'em leagues to just take my mind away from that. And, anyways, so I sat and I thought about what he said, like real hard the other day. And other than the pick'em leagues that I run, he kind of has a point. Like sports in general have become kind of a little boring. I mean, last year you had the storyline with the Kansas City Chiefs and the cheating thing and how the referees are helping them and blah, blah, blah. And then the Philadelphia Eagles in the tush push and how the refs are allowing them to go off sides. That's sort of like the false start or whatever. And that's sort of the storyline for the NFL. I mean, other than that, I mean, really, there's not really much going on in football for NFL wise. And then for college sports, it's about all these firings, all these head coaches are getting fired and all that. And is Texas going to get back to the playoffs? And of course, who's the best team? Other than that, it's been kind of stale for college football. Instead of the only thing really going on is just the head coaches getting fired. All these, I think they said 10 to 12 coaches have been fired in NCAA football, which is kind of unheard of. That really never happens. It's just now it's kind of amped up. College football has kind of turned into like the NFL in a sense, to where it went from playing and coaching and just the love of the game to like it's now just all about money and making the playoffs and winning all these games. And if you don't win all your games, you're fired. And it's like that's what college sports has turned into. I mean, I like the college playoff expansion. But everything else, it's just basically just turning into money. It's at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about anyway. But it's just the innocence that college sports used to have is kind of almost gone. It's like kind of like the NFL, like the same thing over and over. Now, as far as the NBA is concerned, the NBA is starting their in-league tournament cup today, which quite frankly doesn't even really matter. I don't think anybody really cares about the Emirates Cup, about winning it. I mean, it's cool to have the little in-league tournament, but it's not really appealing, and like no one really cares about that stupid cup. I mean, the Larry O'Brien Trophy counts, which, by the way, if NBA used to have the playoff logos on the court, they used to have the championship logo on the court. Now it's just advertisements from sponsors. Like I was watching the Kings game the other day. I think they played the Clippers or something like that. And there's some credit union that sponsors them. Dude, it's everywhere. It's all over the court. It's like on the top end, on the bottom end, they got it on the goalpost, they got it on the sideline. I'm like, dude, how much do you have to force this shit down our throat with the corporation sponsorships? Like it's kind of gotten out of hand. Dallas got Chime. The Rockets got their own advertisements. It's just like it's nothing but advertisements all over the jerseys, the court, the goalpost, that holds the basketball net up. It's everywhere. It's like, and then the commercials. It's every other commercial, nothing but sponsorships. It's like I feel like when I'm watching sports, it's like they're like trying to force me to buy something. That's what I feel like. It's not even about the game anymore. It's just like they're trying to force it down your throat. Even in wrestling, the same shit. I was watching a WWE event the other day, and I think it was I forgot what the match was. It was the last pay per view. I was just watching a couple matches, and in the middle of the ring, they had 5 different advertisements on the actual mat that they're wrestling on. Not to include on the sidelines, they had a mascot out there that their sponsorship was doing. I'm like, dude, what happened to the old days where they used to do like a 5 second ad of like stack or two, and then it would go away. Like whatever happened to that? Like why has corporate sponsorships just taken over the sporting thing? And it's like with FanDuel and all these other things, it's like, why do I care about what Terry Bradshaw gives a shit about FanDuel picks? And why is it that we have to hear about it every other commercial, it seems? And don't forget about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl this year, the game, I don't mind watching the game, but everything else outside of that, I don't care to watch it. I don't care about the funny commercials anymore. And I definitely don't care about the Super Bowl halftime commercial. It's going to be Bad Bunny versus the far right. It's the far left versus the far right. I mean, I think Charlie Kirk's doing his own. They're doing something for that for the Super Bowl. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, I thought this was about sports. Like, why is it about corporate sponsorships and politics when I'm trying to watch sports to get away from this shit? I mean, the stress is already enough of the high rising cost of paying bills and now you're shoving corporate sponsorships down my throat every time it's time to watch a goddamn game. You know? It sort of makes you wonder, what is the purpose of watching sports if this is what it's just going to be about? If it's just going to be about corporate sponsorship, just shoving their advertisements down your throat. It's like, dude, I just want to watch the game. I don't really care for your sponsorships. And if so, like, you don't, I get it, they sponsor you, but you don't have to force it down our throat. I feel like you're trying to like force us to buy something. It shouldn't have to be that way. You know, nothing but sponsorships, nothing but corporatized sponsorships in sports. They're just forcing you to buy shit when it shouldn't even be about that. It should be about you enjoying the sport. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. You know? Like, how much more do we have to see of this? So, I mean, Prodigal Hill kind of has a point. And then, not to mention the gambling that has kind of ruined sports. And you wonder when it ties to Vegas and then when it ties to players throwing games, you got to wonder, like, is the integrity of the sport ruined, like the NBA? The NBA is a big example of this, where they had, Chauncey Billups and on Damon Jones and all these guys getting arrested, and Terry Rozier like faked a foot injury so he can cash out on 250,000. Not that it would have mattered anyway, but I mean the sporting bets, yeah. Lamar Jackson was supposed to play last week, and they said on Saturday he was good to go, and then come the next day they're like, nope, he can't play. I mean that messes with gambling odds because I remember I picked the Ravens. I thought no, I picked the Bears because I thought Lamar wasn't playing. Then they said he was playing, and I switched to the Ravens. And then they're like, "Oh no, he's not playing." So I switched back to the Bears. I mean, Huntley came in and still won anyway, but it's the principle of the matter. Like it messes with betting odds. It's kind of ruined sports. You know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like to watch football. I love my college football. I love my NFL football, and to a degree, I liked NBA too. Don't get me wrong. NBA has just started. I understand it's only been around for 2 weeks now, and they're doing the in-league tournament cup today. I mean, I guess I think they started the in-league tournament too soon. They usually don't start till about November the 7th or 8th. This time they started on Halloween. I think it's kind of a little early, but then again, it's just the bigger question you ask yourself is sports become kind of boring? Has it become kind of lame over the years? Dude, there was a time where I used to wake up, I couldn't wait to watch football. I think football was great up until maybe like, I'm gonna be honest with you, probably about maybe like 2017, 2018. I think after that, it just started dying out. I think, 2018 to the beginning of the time when sports started, great. I think once COVID hit, it sort of changed a lot of people's perspectives. The shutdown, the high cost of living, your taxes going up, your income going up. I mean, your income going down, but your bills are going up. You know, I think has a lot to play with it. Has a big role in it. So you got to ask yourself. I used to be a season ticket holder. Or I paid $3,000 for Texans season tickets, and I thought I was fucking the man. Now I wish I can get that money back. Looking back at it, shit. You know? Now back then when it was cheap. The cost of living was a lot cheaper. So people have to make a decision. Okay, is it worth going to a ball game where these players are throwing games, or where load management and all this crap? Is it worth it? You know, is it worth going to, or and then having to pay exuberant prices for parking, tickets, purchasing food and all that? Does it cost money? Is it worth it? Or can I just use, or I could save all that money and have all that go towards bills, and then I could just sit at the house and watch the game on TV and just order it for $30 a month, or whatever the case is. I got the ESPN app, so I pay like, I think $30 or $23 a month, something like that. I could watch all the ESPN games. I don't even have to go to the games no more. I used to love going to football games. I used to love going to Texans games. I don't have that desire anymore. I've been stopped going. I've been in a Texan game in to maybe like 7 years. I don't have the passion to go to it anymore. There's no point. Long lines, traffic, expensive food, expensive tickets. The parking is outrageous. Cost of living's gone up, and it's just like, it's just, to me, it's not worth it. It's not worth wasting my money on going to that shit. And then at the end of the day, you know, not that it really matters that these organizations don't care about you, but when they make it so blatantly obvious in your face that they don't give a shit and they start running their mouth, then you're like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit at home and I'm good. I'm not. It's not worth going to the games anymore. I don't mind going to a Rockets game or a Dallas Mavericks game. I actually enjoy going to their games, or a San Antonio Spurs game. I have no problem going to the basketball games. I feel like they do a little bit better in regards to the commercial breaks and how they get people pumped up to stay uh, excited about the game your entire time there, versus football in between plays and timeouts and halftime and commercial breaks and official timeouts. They just play nothing but elevator music, and you're just kind of just sitting there. You're like just sitting there with your thumbs twiddling. It kind of reminds me of baseball. You go to a baseball game. You guys ever been to one of those games? I've been to tons of baseball games, and I can tell you it's the most boring shit ever unless you're going to a playoff game. They're really just not exciting. You go on a regular season baseball game, it's terrible. Now you may go to a game where like the runs may go up, but it's just you're just sitting in the stadium. You can hear a pin drop. You can hear conversations going on from 50 feet away. You're paying $50 in parking, $20 for a beer, $15 for a hot dog, $2 for a ticket that sits you in the nosebleeds. It's just, and then the game is like 5 hours long. Not to mention it goes extra innings. Oh my God, I haven't even got me started on that. You haven't even got me started on that. I used to love sports, man. I used to have a passion for it. It's just died down over the years. I would say especially, now I'm gonna be honest with you, I think this year, in my opinion, this year is the year that I just completely had no passion to watch sports. If it wasn't for the Pick'em League tournaments, I really didn't give a shit to watch Texans football or Rockets basketball. I really don't care. Or to watch Rangers baseball. I just stopped caring. I mean, it's nothing personal. Like I love UT, I love my Texas Longhorns, but it's just the excitement's not what it used to be. It's just not what it used to be. It's just I realize now that my bills are more important, helping out my family, and most importantly, my health, which I'm not going to lie, I let my health get bad. I let it get bad. And I don't blame anybody but myself on that. So I'm not blaming anybody else because I ate like crap, didn't care what I ate, and never really watched my health. And it's just, I kind of let my health kind of spiral out of control, if that makes sense, in regards to like high blood pressure, shit like that. So I've been on blood pressure meds, and I've been, working on my health wise, trying to get that back by eating better and stuff. And I've been doing that for a couple of days now. So I'm just, I just realized that my life is more important than sports or watching other people play sports, which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with watching other, entertainment. We watch entertainment in movies, content makers, stuff like that. But, I just realized my life is more important. And I think people in general are starting to see that now. I think, for people watching this video and for, just whoever decides to watch the video later once it's uploaded, I think now people realize is now with the economy the way it is and your finances and trying to survive, I think you just realize, okay, what's more important to me? Is all these things that I was excited about really that important now? Or is getting my life on track more important? Trying to put yourself first instead of like what entertains you or that instant gratification. Like sports, porn, content makers, whatever the case may be. You just say, is it important to focus all my time into these people, or should I just put that focus into my own life and try to get myself on track. And I think that that's how, in my opinion, I think people are sort of viewing the way they view sports now. They just look at it as just like a more of a casual fan. I think that the diehard fan, the fanatics, are very minuscule now, small amounts. Like the people that dress up and do that. I'm not saying they don't do that. It's just not as often as you normally would see it. I think people are now there's more casual fans instead of like fan fanatics. I'll die for my team. I'll ride for my team. Gang bang, Niner for life, Texan for life, you know, uh, Cowboys for life, whatever, Eagles for life, you know, I'm not going to say you're not going to have your jerseys. I have my jerseys. I have my gear. I just don't think people put too much into it anymore. I think it's because they realize that their life just matters more. It just matters more to focus on your family. What's more important to your family, your friends, people around you. That's what matters more. Not, um, not worried about, am I going to come up with the $250 to go to a basketball game? Am I going to come up with the $300 to go to a football game? I think those days are gone. I just think like if you want to go to a game, it's cool. I'm not going to lie to you. I wouldn't tell you if I'm not a hypocrite and haven't gone to a couple games. I plan on going to the Mavericks against the Sixers on the 1st of January, and against the third when my Rockets go to Dallas. Me and my friend Travis are going to go. So I'm not going to lie to you and say I'm not a hypocrite for not going. It's just I don't prioritize and saying I have to go to every game anymore. I have to go to 50 games a year. I have to go to 100 games. I don't focus on that anymore. I just go to a game or two every now and then. It's just, and if I don't go, hey, I'm not losing any sleep over it. Because I just realized what's more important to me: my health, my life. So for Prodigal Hill, haven't seen you. Jesus Christ, I don't think we've done a collab in almost, I want to say, since I first got hired at the county, bro. I think the last time I seen you was shortly after I got hired, and I think that was back in, I want to say last year around June. So it's been a minute, bro. I would love to do collabs with you in the future. Just depends on the topic and all that discussion. I would love to do a collab with you again. I thought, I still got a lot of our videos on private. Um, I still got a lot of our collabs that we do together, and I hope maybe one day in the future we can collab again, and have some sort of, discussion. I would love to get with you on that. So, other than that, man, I think that the economy has sort of made people change their perspectives on how they view their priorities in life and your interest. What interests you? What am I into? And is it that important like I thought it was? Or is it just a distraction from keeping me to get into where I want to get in life? I think people are now, this is before I go, I think people now are putting the focus on themselves and not on their interests so much. And I guess it's a good thing because at the end of the day, that's the way it should be. People should put their focus on themselves and not this gratification stuff. And that's all I wanted to say. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time. I hope you guys have a happy Halloween. Till next time, signing out. Peace.